Welcome to the workshop, tools in the light. Screws and glue, they're holding it tight. Piece by piece, it's a builder's delight. Making dreams in the still of the night. Let's get into it, let's get building now. Put it all together, I'll show you how. Screw by screw and a little glue too. Welcome to the workshop, it's waiting for you. In the heart of creation, models take form. One more piece and the weather the storm. Engines roar or a ship in its prime. Building bonds stronger than time. Your hands are steady, your vision is clear. Dreams in plastic, they're finally here. Every piece has its very own song. In this workshop where we all belong. Let's get into it, let's get building now. Put it all together, I'll show you how. Screw by screw and a little glue too. Welcome to the workshop, it's waiting for you. Hours fly by as the pieces align. Apart work, beauty and design so fine. You're the maker, turning vision to truth. Building wonders for dreams of your youth. Hours fly by as the pieces align. Apart work, beauty and design so fine. You're the maker, turning vision to truth. Building wonders for dreams of your youth.
Evening everyone, welcome to the channel, and welcome to another Tinker and Talk Tuesday. Now, I haven't really done much to the F15 since last week, so I've done a little bit of painting, but hopefully tonight we might be able to assemble the engines and might even be able to get a bit of the fuselage of the aircraft together. So hopefully, see how far we get. I've painted a few bits and pieces to hopefully speed up the process a little bit, and hopefully it's pretty much just an assembly and a little less painting. I'll show you this in closer detail, but I now have the cockpit together and the front nose section after all the pain I had to go through when I was doing that last week. But a bit of fun, so I'll take you over to the workbench, show you where I'm up to, and continue from there. Just going to grab my stool as well. I don't know if he's still here, but I've truly been dashed. So thank you very much, Howard. But this is what we've currently got. So managed to get the pilot in. That was a real struggle. And to try and get his hand lined up with the control there, that was a right nightmare, but it's in. It's not perfect, but it's probably about as close as it's going to get. If you remember rightly, last week I had an issue with this control handle, or the ejector seat handle in there. Well, after doing the stream, I realized that really that should be a lot further down, and although it's meant to be there on the instructions, there's just absolutely no way it fits between his legs. And looking at photos of the cockpit, it should actually be a lot further down. It should be flush with the seat, really. You can't even see that I've done it, so I might as well have even left it out completely. But I did move it on this one so that it's further down. But yeah, as I say, now you can't even see it. So I might as well even not bothered putting it in there. But it's one of those things, I know it's in there, so it's there. So that is what the cockpit's looking like. I've painted this front cowling, and I've painted a little bit around here. This will make it easier when it comes to doing the masking. So that's already got its colour pre-applied sort of thing. But not doing anything with that at the moment. That's pretty much as done as it needs to be done at the moment. So let's switch to that camera and see if I can find the instructions, which I seem to have put down and now can't find. There they are. So what I'm looking to do this evening is basically assemble this section here. So we've got the engines, the air intakes, etc. So that's the intake side. And then we've got the engine this side. So with any luck, can get that assembled. Although this bit here is a really, really fiddly bit to do. We've got some very, very small photo etch parts there, which basically need to go around the engine parts there. And we've got to do that twice. So we shall see how we get on with that. But at the very least, I should be able to assemble the intake assembly. Now, I have done, say, a little bit of painting. So we've got the fan there, the turbine. We've got the part for the rear engine there. The inside of that has been painted. I've done that twice, so I've got 2 of those sprues. So same thing on both. And somewhere we have the intake assembly, and that's been painted white on the inside. And we've got the 2 cowlings that have got been painted grey on the inside. So they are the first bits I'm going to need. I should have another sprue with another one of these on as well, actually. There it is. So I've painted that one as well. In fact, actually, I think these will be the first bits I need. Hey, Trek. Hey, Jordan. Not Jordan, is it Jody? Get confused with all you lot. Try to remember your names, but fail miserably. Did catch a bit of your first stream yesterday. It seemed to all go well. Hey, Rach. Best say hello to the wife. Otherwise, the locks get changed. Right, so we've got those 2 bits that are going to go in there and there. Now, for this bit, I'm just going to use super glue, just because it's easy and quick. Right, so that's the start of our intakes like that. This is where I'm going to need the 2 parts of the cowling. Let's just see how they've labelled these. 5 and 6, 11 and 12. So let's do 5 and 6 first. I did say Jody, sorry if it sounds like Judy. Of called you Jordan first, so you know. Be lucky I got it half right. Right, so these need to go together, and they're only going to glue on that very small section there. This one's going to be this side. Try and work out whether they locate anywhere. It looks like it's going to locate like that and like that. So that should work. Let's just try see if I can get these to line up and glue. Doesn't look too bad. Let's just find what I've done with the other ones. There they are. Do the same for these ones. Let's check fit first. Not too bad. Not too worried about the join line at the moment because I can tidy that up later on. Right, so with those joined together, it should go in here. Like most things, it doesn't fit straight away. Right, so that's how it's going to sit in there. I think just a case of glue one edge at a time and hope that it stays in place. Well, you can always be called Judy from now on if you want to. Maybe I'll put that on Discord. That'd be a bit of fun. This is not a very good fit, this one. It's going to need some filling, I think, when finished. See if this one fits any better. Now my original plan was to try and have this ready for Monday, but don't know if that's going to happen. Just depends on how well tonight goes and whether I've got any chance over the weekend to actually do a bit more assembly and painting on this. Because the paint scheme is not too difficult, if I'm honest. Primarily a light grey with a darker grey camouflage pattern. So the decals are probably going to take a little bit longer. And I know I should probably use a different glue other than super glue, but super glue's quick and easy. Assuming I don't get myself glued to it. F15 transformers are good. So that'd be something like Starscreen or something like that, I guess. Couldn't tell you all the ones. Starscreen is the only one that comes to mind. Right, so we've got those in. Now I'm pretty sure there's a little detail to go in here somewhere. Yeah, D17. I remember painting that. Where's sprued D? That's B. That's E. That's one. I'm going to take this tiny little detail out of here. And that's got to go in this gap here. I think to glue that one, all I'm going to do is a puddle of glue and try and find my bit of wire, which is almost always around here. There it is. Right, that's in. Fiddly in there it looked. That's not happened that often, if I'm honest. It's more likely I'll stick myself to the model than actually sticking my fingers together. Right, so we've got the cows in, we've got that in. So now we need, so that's the top half which I've just done. I did drill out that hole earlier, so don't panic. So now we need to drain our attention to the top part and do that part of the intake. I should say the lower half. I know it's early into the stream, but this is actually going better than I thought it was going to. So cue the car crash or plane crash. I'm wearing one of Wayne's t-shirts, so you never know. So that was 3 and 4. Now this is going to go together. We need the fan to go into there. And I know it's a turbine, but I'm going to keep saying fan. Take one out. A little bit of a clean up so it'll fit in. Right, so that's just going to sit in like that. So at least I can. I thought that was going to go in and be captured by this, but it looks like that can go in after the fact. So that makes it a little bit easier. Means I can glue this prior to the fact. I'm not too worried about also cleaning up the outside of this because it's all going to be hidden inside the aircraft. What I do need is this bit to line up. This one. Let's take the other one. And get this one glued together as well. Apologies if you can hear the hum of the aircon. It's quite baking in the workshop at the minute. Right, so that's that one done. We just need the other fan. I'm sure what's going to take the time is all the fiddly bits around the other end of the engine, not the intake. So that's where it will go wrong. Thundercracker and Skywalk. Then they had the Conehead modified F15, different wings, thrust, Dirge, is that? Ramjet. So have you got all of those different transformers then? Yeah! I found it. Don't panic. Alright, so let's flip these over. Not going to stand on their own, are they? Why would they? I think I just dip those in a bit of glue. Doesn't matter which way around they are. You're not going to see them anyway. It's only a case of blocking them up, really. What have I done with the other one? There it is. So we've got that one there as well. Give that a moment for it to dry. And I can figure out which way around it goes in here. But we need to put in a couple of other bits first. So this one's a 6. And that's going to sit in here, I think. There'll be a stream of dropping things, it seems, at the moment. Right, so that's going to sit in just there. Clean up the edges a little bit and make it fit in nicely. And then that's going to sit like that. So just use a bit of glue on a wire. That'll be enough to hold that in. And then we should have another one to go on the other side. So G1 Christmas 86. So that that G1 is as old as my wife then. Or maybe I should say as young as my wife. I can hear the click from here, I think, with the door. Maybe she wasn't listening. Maybe I can get away with it. I don't know. Right, so this one has got to go in here. Just take a little bit more. I said young. Is that the big one, spider sprue? Didn't know it actually smoked. Can't get that on to fit in properly at a minute. I think if that train ever got released over here, I might consider doing that. Try and get this glued in before it moves again. Right, so those two bits in. Now we can put the intakes on. Somehow. That way. Useful. We've got a couple of little holes and a couple of little pegs that they've got to line up on. That makes it so much easier. So just check the alignment of that. It looks okay. Just going to pop a bit of glue on there. I'll get that lined up again. Yeah, the Hogwarts was a good one. Wouldn't mind doing the Lego one of that, but far too expensive. No worry about this. Don't think you've missed anything. I haven't glued myself to the model yet. So getting close to it, but haven't done it yet. No worries, Jody. Have a good one. Right, so got the intakes like that. I think that's the only thing we needed to do for that. So we've done this, got the turbines in, got those two bits in, made those two holes, got that little detail in, got those in, got those together. Right, next page. So now I can't really do anything more without doing the engines. Assuming that if I put this together, I won't have the space to get the engines to slide in. Can't even get that going. That's not very good. I'm gonna have to look over there now because my tablet's just died and I forgot to plug it in and charge it. So now I've got chat only on that screen over there. So apologies if I do miss anything. I need to get a new camera and then hopefully it'll stop trying to autofocus when it shouldn't. If you check some of my videos, there is a GoFundMe because I want to get some new kit to do these live streams a little bit better. So take a look. Anyone that's just joined probably missed that I've been dashed. So he gave me $19.99p, I think, 99 cents. So I feel like I'm part of the crew now. Right, so that's going to go together like that. I don't know if that's going to accept. Where's the bit for it? It's this bit. might just do the engines anyway, because what time is it? 1:30, so. Okay, that would probably slide in there. But I think just to be on the safe side, I'm going to leave it, and I'll try doing the engines. So I've already painted these two cowlings. I need 3 of these for each engine. Yeah, I've looked at the ones on Temu and things like that. And yeah, certainly something I'd consider. If the focus continues to be a problem, give me a shout and I'll try and do it on a fixed focus length. Right, so we've got 3 of those. And I believe, let's have a quick look. Oh, how many is it per engine? No, it's 5 per engine. 4, yeah, 5 per engine, not 3. Can't count. So try and make sure this end is flat. And then, very helpfully, we seem to have little markers here where they do line up. So I'm going to try just dipping the edge of this in some glue, and then hopefully this will just go together. Famous last words. You know the last one's going to be a right pain to put in, don't you? I'm not gluing down the length of them at the minute, in the hopes that it'll make it easier to get the last one in, and then hopefully I can just glue down the inside. No, I knew this was going to be the fiddly bit. Right. I've got to do this to the other engine as well in a minute. Just take an empty one. Don't need clothes or anything like that. Just take an empty suitcase, just for the trip back. Right, that one's not sat in properly. This is why I've only gently glued them. Nope. It's like building a house of cards. Wasn't very good at that either. Right, that's 4 in for the minute. So tack a bit of glue in it. This could be the next 20 minutes of the stream, to be fair. Me trying to get this to go together. So, hopefully you enjoy engine building. This is only half of it as well. I've still got all the little details to go on the outside of these. Right. I think that's it. gently move that to one side. And try the same thing for this one. What I have just realised is where I flattened that, they've got a tab there which goes into that hole. So let's not flatten that one and see if that makes any difference. Put the Google contour. What? Brilliant. No one needs the boxes anyway, bag this. Right, let's just take off where it was joined to the sprue. Leaving that central tab in place. I think next week, I think I might go easy on myself and potentially pull out the U-Gears Cobra again and see if I can get a little bit more work done on that one. Or if I want to make things difficult on myself, I've got another plastic kit. Got two actually. One of which is a Thunderbird 2 hangar with Thunderbird 2 in all its vehicles and pods and things. So I think that'll be a fun build to do at some point on the channel. But not if it's as fiddly as this. I don't think, even with those little tab bits, it's going to make it any easier to get this to actually go together. It's still going to be a house of cards. Not too bad doing the first ones, it's when you get the last one that you then got to try and squeeze in without knocking all the others over. I'm only using a light amount of glue and then I can wiggle them around a little bit. Someone tell me why they couldn't just mold this as one piece? I'm definitely considering the Supra, but you may have seen my post on Facebook that seemed to blow up a little bit with the stripes of the skyline. Now, if that's anything to go by, of course we've got decals going across the door and the body with that as well. So, don't know if they're likely to have the same sort of issues with that. I'm hoping the skyline video I'll get out either tomorrow or Thursday. And I have sort of semi-addressed the problem. I've done the video first, I recorded the video first, thinking that they'd missed out some blue stripes on the wing, and then afterwards realising that it's not the case, I did do a little small post record message, and I've also mentioned about Mike Lane's potential solution. So I just need to put it together. I say it might be tomorrow or Thursday, but it really does spoil the look of the car with those stripes being so bad. I did show it to someone the other day, and they said until I mentioned it, they wouldn't have noticed. But it's one of those things that I've seen it. It doesn't look good, so for me, it's all I see now. Yeah, to be fair, Bergdus, I think there's a couple of options for this, because it does give you this nozzle or iris cover. Now, it says that bit's not being used, but I think there's an option that you could have that in place. So, and I believe it, as you say, it does open, so you could position it, I suppose, in different configurations. So, yes, that's probably why they haven't molded it in one piece, but still annoying. Right, but they are together. I'm sure I missed someone's comment I was going to put up. Thunderbirds. Yeah. So it looks like a really good kit. I saw it at Telford. And by the time I decided, right, I'm going to go for it, they'd sold out. They said it was available through Jadlam, which were up at Telford. I'd already bought something from Jadlam and got a 10% or 15% off voucher. So I went looking at their website. I think I was told it was about 80 quid from Jadlam on site at Telford. When I went looking, Jadlam's website I think had it for something like 60, and then with the voucher I think I only paid about 45 quid for it. So absolute bargain, considering if I'd bought it on the day before from Jadlam directly while they're up there, it'd been like 85 pounds, like almost a £40 saving. Hey Wayne, you please know I'm wearing one of your t-shirts, and hasn't been a complete disaster. You just missed this if you've not been watching long. Me trying to put a deck of cards or house of cards together. Absolute pain. And I still haven't got to the fiddly bit of putting the details on this yet. But I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this together. That way I've got something a little bit more that I can hold and not have to worry about this bit too much. I can probably put that on a bit of blue tack and do that bit. Now, I'm probably not going to do the photo etch fiddly parts tonight, because you can guarantee that's going to take me probably the best part of half an hour. There's, I don't know how many there is on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 of those pieces of each of those, plus these ones. 4, 8, 4, 8, 10, 12, There's 14 of those. That must be 14 of those. Maybe miscounted. Yeah, not going to have time in this stream to do that bit, so I'm going to get these bits together. I'll find the other part of the engine. Hopefully. There it is. You should Spider Spirit. They are pretty good at times. Be fiddly. Need a bit of patience. Bit of fettling. And it's different to obviously all the screw-in models, etc. But I think I've had a bit of practice with the Mallard and the Flying Scotsman, and that certainly tests your patience. Right, so that's 100% definitely going to go like that. And if I really feel brave at some point, I might end up doing a Gundam on a live stream. I've seen how easy Wayne makes them, so sure it can't be that bad. I do have one. It's apparently a master grade. No idea what that means. Right, let's get that glued there. Almost glued my finger to it. Right, so that's our engines. And I will just check this. So that's got to go like that. And then, is there a tab? Doesn't look like it. We've got this little tab here, both sides. Doesn't seem to be a slot or anything for them to go into. So I don't actually know if there's a right or wrong way for them to go at this moment in time. But they will eventually just slide in, it looks like. That seems to just slide in, this one doesn't. Maybe it's because I'm holding it too tight. But that's what that will eventually look like. And if I just grab the front part, starting to come together, I think. Looking pretty good. So, yeah, if I get a chance, this will hopefully be finished by next stream's next live stream. So I'll show you what the finished article looks like, or I might continue this again next week if I haven't had a chance to finish it. But hopefully, maybe the it'll be the Cobra that I do. All right, let's switch camera. Yeah, the keyboard's going to work. Yep. Alexa, turn on main light. That's better. Got some more lighting. So used to working just by the bench light. Didn't realise the main light was off. But it's not too bad. Could have been a bit of a disaster, but I think it's looking fairly good. I was hoping I'd get a little bit further along than I have, but didn't take into account how fiddly those engines were going to be. But not too bad. So all that's left to say is thank you very much for joining me on another Tinker and Talk Tuesday. As I said, next week, hopefully, I might get onto the Cobra. Yeah, I'll probably do the Cobra, try and give myself a bit of a break, although we've seen how fiddly that one can be. But it all went well last time, so it sat up there. So hopefully we get that one done. I probably won't get finished because there's still quite a lot to do. But yeah, if you can, join me next time. Hopefully, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers!